We're standing on a sand dune just south of James Price's Point, looking north over the point. This is the exact location for the proposed Kimberley LNG Precinct at James Price's Point. It is not on the pindan woodland tablelands that Colin Barnett would have us believe. According to the most recent Department of State development maps, this is exactly where this LNG precinct will sit, right over the top of one of the most significant vine forests or remnant rainforests you can find on the western side of the Dampier Peninsula. So I've just come into this little thicket here. This is what a remnant rainforest really looks like. It's quite dense, lots of vines obviously, but the shade here at the moment is unbelievable. I would say the temperature under here is at least 10 degrees, if not 10 to 12 degrees cooler than what it is actually out there at the moment in the sun. Hopefully you can hear the cicadas and the birds, and also, of course, that roaring in the background is the ocean. I just really want to illustrate why the remnant rainforests or the vine thickets are called thus. This is a wonderful example of how this is really a remnant rainforest. But we'll come back here and I'll just share with you this really interesting tree. So what we're looking at here is an Exocarpus latiflorius, also known as the mistletoe tree. And it's got it's really prolific at the moment in its fruiting. It's quite early actually. Usually they fruit in, they flower in March and November, and they usually fruit in April and October. But this particular tree has proven all the textbooks wrong because it's absolutely laden in fruit. And the colour is spectacular. You can get quite a beautiful orange, almost verging on a red colour. And you can get yellow ones. They're a beautiful fruit in terms of colour. You can eat them, and people do eat them. It's a really bland taste. So you just see here on these branches, it's just completely laden with mistletoe fruit. This is Celtis philippinus. It's a semi-deciduous tree. It often has buttress roots, and it also has an edible fruit. It usually flowers between December and April, and fruiting now at the moment, which is January, and it will fruit up until May. Now, this is a very easy tree to identify purely because of the leaf. If we have a close look at this leaf here, let's try if we can get a good shot. You can see that it's got quite distinguished 3 to 4 main veins rather than the single one. It's quite an easy plant to identify. Unfortunately, the fruit is not ready to be collected or eaten, but it's a very good fruit. A lot of people will, just warm them slightly, and when they are ripe, they become quite a crimson colour. So, another edible fruit that you can find in the remnant rainforest at James Price's Point. This is another remnant rainforest tree. This is Frugivorosa, one of my favourite fruits, also known commonly as the snowball tree. And these fruits are unbelievably delicious. You gather handfuls like that and you basically eat them. It's a really sweet, fleshy, soft white flesh, and also it has these seeds inside which are quite peppery. I'm not sure if you can see that, but we've got little seeds and they're quite peppery. But people just basically grab the branch and you just pull them off like this. So here we go again. This is a Figus opposita, one of the 4 figs that can be found in remnant rainforest. Now it's also known as the sandpaper fig. Now if you're feeling this, it actually feels like sandpaper. And this fig has been, you know, they do use the leaves to sandpaper things back. Now it is fruiting at the moment, but I can't actually see that many ripe fruit. There's just one here, and I'll just pick it off very gently. Like any fig, they're very, very delicate. And as you can see, it's got a classic fig seed formation. I can assure you that they're pretty delicious. But you can see that the fruiting is prolific. It's a very delicious fruit, but unfortunately ants often like this fruit as well, so sometimes you just got to get in really quick because the ants burrow in there. Also you can see from this fruit there's quite a few little insects and spiders that inhabit this tree. So we're still here in the vine thickets near James Price's Point in the remnant rainforest, and I can't believe what I've just come across. I've stumbled across a most incredible orchard, and it's almost like a citrus-like tree. And if we're coming closer now, and it is absolutely laden with fruit. Now these fruit are quite pink in colour, and really I just can't wait to get hold of them because you can see they've got, it's like a creamy flesh, and inside you've got 2 green seeds. Sometimes they're 2 or sometimes there's 3. And you don't eat the seeds, of course, and then you eat the fruit. It's a really, really amazingly delicious fruit. So, which I'm really surprised because usually it flowers from February to May and fruits much later. But we're in January. It's the wet season, and like I said, I've just found several trees, several communities of this tree. So I'll be picking lots of fruit for my friends. What a score. So this is yet another edible bush fruit that can be found in the vine thickets or remnant rainforest at James Price's Point. So when Colin Barnett tries to tell you that this is an unremarkable landscape, then basically he's just lying to you. This vine thicket is abundant, absolutely abundant in fruit, in native grasses, in birds, in animals. This is not an unremarkable landscape.